world's most powerful economies have a weapon to show off: high-speed railways. 250, 275, 300 and even 320 kilometers per hour has become a speed of day-to-day life in many countries. After looking into all these factors, the government of India decided to procure Japan's Shinkansen high-speed railway technology to set up India's first such project between Mumbai and Ahmedabad on an experimental basis. The 508-kilometer distance is to be covered in just 2 hours. A target was set up to build all stations and lay tracks by June 2020, and the first train was to be procured from Japan in June 2021. But something went wrong and the construction of more than 80% of the line failed to start even in May 2021. Amid an economic recession, will India's 1.1 trillion rupee bullet train project become a success? What is delaying the project and keeping it years behind schedule? Will India's first bullet train project fail? And if yes, can India bear that loss? The Japan International Cooperation Agency or JICA had meetings with India to set up Japan's Shinkansen high-speed railway technology between Mumbai and Ahmedabad. India's estimates suggested that the project will cost around 1.1 trillion rupees or 1.1 lakh crores, the country's most expensive railway project so far. To execute the project, Japan agreed to provide all kinds of assistance. They decided to train thousands of Indians to operate a railway line and also provide a loan of 88,087 crores to Indian Railways, which obviously India had to pay them back in next 50 years at an interest rate of 0.1%. A special purpose vehicle called National High Speed Rail Corporation Limited was formed in 2016 to fast-track the project. But certain problems arose due to which the project keeps on stumbling. With so many cities coming in the way, land acquisition was always going to be a problem. About 63% of the track was to be laid directly on land by creating embankments. Only 2.2% was on bridges and 5.8% was on tunnels. So it was obvious that quite a lot of land was needed. Out of 508 km of total line, the government of Gujarat has already given 95% of the land in the state. However, only 23% of the land could be acquired in Maharashtra so far. The Maharashtra government back in early days agreed to provide all necessary assistance to the project. But after the recent switch in the office, the state government is accused of quote-unquote delaying the project unnecessarily. The Maharashtra government, although they agreed previously, but later on they notified the railways that they will review the requirement of the project in the state. So far, the most important land of the project, that is a land parcel in Mumbai's BKC for making the underground terminal, has not yet been provided. The Maharashtra government, however, defended themselves. Representatives of the state government highlighted that farmers from different localities like Vidarbha, Konkan, Palghar, Dhule, Jalgaon, Dahanu and around 1,000 tribal people protested against the land acquisition of the bullet train project. During this project, farmers in Thane and Palghar districts argued that the officials had begun conducting surveys of their land without considering their consent, despite other village assemblies refusing to give land for the project. As per reports, Maharashtra government planned to invoke Section 96 of the Maharashtra Regional Town and Planning Act of 1996 to compulsorily take over the remaining land for the project. But the things didn't go as planned. Shiv Sena MP in Lok Sabha also accused that the centre is trying to relocate corporate zones from Mumbai to Gujarat by providing high-speed railway connectivity.
आपके मंत्री जी को भी मालूम होगा कि ये रेल को महाराष्ट्र के लोगों का विरोध इसी कारण है कि मुंबई के सभी बड़े-बड़े कॉर्पोरेट जगत को अहमदाबाद को हिलाने की योजना ये सरकार बना रही है.
They also said that the Maharashtra government will be happy to establish if the bullet train runs between Mumbai and Nagpur instead of Ahmedabad. They also said that the Maharashtra government is not willing to provide any assistance to the bullet train project and they will try to cancel it. This step from the Maharashtra government can have adverse effects. The bullet train project is not an ordinary railway project. It's an extremely expensive project that is dependent on loans from Japan. Although there are strong controversies whether the bullet train project is at all feasible in India, loans have been already provided. Contract worth 32,000 crores has been already awarded. A major portion of the land has already been acquired and construction has been already started. Since the project has rapidly progressed in Gujarat, it has been decided to run bullet trains within Gujarat for the time being. At this stage, if Maharashtra withdraws, there will be serious issues regarding the feasibility of this controversial project. It is quite obvious that an inter-Gujarat bullet train has every chance of failing. The bullet train may be a success only if Mumbai is included in the project. India at this moment cannot afford uncertainty on a 1 trillion rupee infrastructure project. And if Maharashtra agrees to procure the bullet in the state, it will be too late and the project will be very likely facing a huge cost escalation. Mumbai-Ahmedabad high-speed rail is the country's most feasible route for a bullet train. But even after all its attempts to make it viable, controversies are there regarding the affordability of the project. With this, India's dream of joining all its economic hotspots with high-speed rail is far from reality. The lowest ticket price of a bullet train is expected to be somewhere between 4,000 to 5,000 rupees to make such a project economically viable. Such fares between these two cities will only be affordable for upper class with a strong economic background. However, the same route is covered by airlines with an airfare ranging between 3,000 to 4,000 rupees. In a country like India, will people prefer a railway line that is costlier than air travel? Let us know in the comments. People also criticize that the bullet train is a luxury that India cannot afford. Instead, there is an utmost need of strengthening the existing infrastructure other than making such costly projects that only a small section of Indians can afford. But on the other hand, it's true that high-speed railway is a peer of economic growth. Japan's economy was devastated after World War II. But within just 19 years of its nightmare, the country introduced world's first high-speed railway and the rest is history. Since then, Japan has seen massive transit-oriented development along the proximity of the bullet train. After experiencing economic recession, Japan managed to recover in 1960s. Instead of running away from expensive transport affairs, Japan used Shinkansen high-speed railway as a tool to recover and strengthen its economy. Although the bullet train may look costlier and slower than air travel, it may have adverse and positive effects both. Commute using bullet train between Mumbai and Ahmedabad is practically faster than air travel, as you won't be facing hardcore security checks and waiting times at stations like you do in airports. So air travel between these two cities actually take a minimum of 4 hours if you consider the waiting time at the airports. On the other hand, bullet trains will take little over 2 hours, reducing the travel time by almost 50%. This may look like a little hope of making India's first high-speed railway a success. But it's true that the success of long-distance bullet trains that a government is planning is doubtful, as bullet trains are actually slower and costlier than air travel in such cases. A 2,000 kilometer journey from Mumbai to Kolkata takes a total of 5 to 6 hours and costs 6,000 rupees approximately by air. The same distance will be covered by bullet trains in 8 hours at a logical cost of not less than 15 to 18,000 rupees. By the end of 2024, the first phase of bullet train is expected to be rolled out of Sabarmati. They may first run up to Vapi, but success of this project is highly dependent on whether Mumbai is included at all. For more updates on India's infrastructure projects, please hit the subscribe button. Also, sharing is caring, so care for your friends by sharing our videos. Have a nice day.